Yo, welcome to Nerdy Soul. We do shoes and board game reviews. My name is Chris, the Geek in Sneaks, and today we are taking a 5+1 preview review of the game Fountains, coming to us from the Op. I was super excited to get a chance to demo this at Gen Con 2025, and I gotta tell you, I really like it. So, without further ado, let's dive in. So a quick synopsis of what Fountains is before we dive in. Fountains is a game where you're going to be drafting these tiles, building out a fountain, not only spreading it out, but building it up, creating water flows and everything to score a bunch of points. Okay, you're going to be collecting lily pads and scoring for fish and stuff like that. All right, there's a bunch of different things, but let's just dive right into this. The first thing that I really like about this game is the player interaction. Okay, so you're going to have this rondel in the middle of the drafting area that everyone can move these pawns around. There's no player color. It's just 3 different colored pawns. And so you can move them 3 spaces. If you decide that you want to land the same color pawn on its original same color space, then you're going to activate scoring for that thing. But I love the player interaction of this is because I can move the same pawn every turn if I want. I can move a different one. We're all using the same pawns to draft tiles. Wherever you land that pawn at is a tile that you get to draft and then add to your tableau in a sense. And then you're trying to create these cool combos. So you can almost hate move it around. Like if you really want to mess with people, if you see someone scoring really well, you can not let them be able to score something. It's just a really good mechanic. Number 2 is the controlled scoring that you're going to have in this game. So again, you're going to move that pawn in this rondel and you're going to choose when you want to score. So if I'm collecting a lot of fish, all right, and I want to score fish, I can decide when I want to score that by moving that pawn onto that space. Draft the tile, score it. Everyone scores, not just me, but everyone. So if I know that I'm doing really well and maybe my opponent isn't doing well in that, I want to score as many points as possible because at the end of the game, it's just going to be whatever we have left plus one final scoring of all the categories. The other flip side is that if I know someone's doing really well, I can move the other color pawn onto the space that they want to score, preventing them from scoring their points. It's super fun. It's great. I love that mechanic so much. We had a blast figuring out that puzzle. The puzzle is only overshadowed to me by the component quality, and that's number 3. The component quality in this game is so cool. You think these are chipboard pieces, these are chipboard tiles. No, my friend, these are like foam. There's foam in there, they're thick, they're squishy. It feels like you could throw them in a pool and they would float and you could just like sit on a bed of them and just tan in the pool. Bad idea, don't do it. But I love that they went the extra mile and didn't just make foam core, or they didn't just make chipboard, they made foam core pieces for this. It feels light, airy. It's so good in your hands to feel. With that, number 4, I like that this game feels old school meets new school. It's got some new school design with some old school mechanic and old school pawns in there. And normally I really like some custom meeples, but you get those custom meeples on your scoring chart. So you're moving these custom fountain figures, that's your player color, as you score. So I love those. And the pawns just need to be there for scoring. And it feels like I'm playing Sorry almost in that sense, but I'm doing it in a modern board game way. Even the art looks kind of old, but it still feels fresh and new. So kudos to the Op and their art and creative team because it's really great production. And back to the gameplay for number 5, you can change tactics mid-game and still be in the game. So as you're building out your tableau and building out your fountain, you're gonna also be building up. You need to create water flow. So let's say that you cover up an area that would normally create a pool, which is connected water pockets. Well, if you build another one on top of it, the water can flow down and then now you can score. You have ways to, there's one area of the board when you move the pawn that you can draft little tokens like money and fish and lily pads and add those on top of tokens that are already there or in empty spaces. This allows you to have some variability. In the beginning of the game, you might be really good on fish, then someone kind of takes over fish, so you want to go back to lily pads. You can just start doing that and still be in the game because you're always going to be scoring points whenever anyone scores points. So it's really great in that way. If you're adding money to your fountain, you're gonna get points automatically for adding money. So you can draft points basically. It's just really neat how these mechanics all kind of come together, and I'm just really impressed by the design. One thing that I would change about this game I'm nitpicking, but you have to connect the tiles by the dark corners, the dark sides of them. So the dark brown pieces have to touch, and that visually creates a fountain really well. Sometimes it's hard to know if you can do it though, and how water flow works is kind of tricky to understand at first. Like if you're getting taught the game, you need to visually see it to be able to teach it, because it's a little tricky to understand how water flows. It seems easy, but how water flows down just feels a little finicky. So I would maybe have increased some of the sizes of the tiles so they fit a bit better on those, because sometimes like the dark corners just barely touching and it's a little confusing. But that's a little nitpick. It's just something I might have increased or clarified in the rules a bit more. But that is 5 and 5 plus 1 of Fountains from the Op. Let me know if you are interested in this game. I think this is going to be coming out very soon as the making of this video. It should be here Q4 along with their other hit game T-Witches. So yeah, I really love this game. I had a great time demoing it. It's skyrocketed up my list for a game that I can't wait to play with my friends. I'm super pumped about it. Let me know in the comments if you're excited about Fountains. Does this seem like something you would be into, or what games are you excited about coming out soon? But until next time, remember to kick back and play.